Hey, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? It is 𝗶𝗶𝗁𝗶𝗀𝗀, and today we're going to be talking about and showing you the NGINX OBS automatic low bit rate switching, meaning it's a simple app to automatically switch scenes in OBS based on the current bitrate fetched from the NGINX stat page. So basically, if you are a viewer of 𝗵𝗵𝗀𝗀𝗶𝗶𝗁𝗀, 𝗵𝗵𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀, The Real Shook One, some type of IRL streamer, and you happen to see that their streaming scene starts to freeze, then it will change the scene to something else. It'll say something low bit rate, and it'll show like some nice animation background, and the stream will start picking back up once the stream is no longer freezing. That's because low bit rate means they have low quality of upload speed, that it's not being sent out towards the server signal, or the server's not getting a perfect signal, and it's all being depleted. So we are gonna do 4 things. This is gonna be the hardest, but it's actually really easy if you follow this step by step. So it's configuring a NGINX server. Then we're gonna use this script right here. If you happen to have a LiveU Solo, we're gonna set that up. I happen to have a LiveU Solo. I will put a timestamp down below if you don't have LiveU Solo that you can skip to the next part where it'll say set up OBS and to set up your Twitch channel. So I'll put a timestamp that where it'll be like, hey, I got to switch to the next step or skip to the next step. Okay, so this is a fresh install Ubuntu server. We will be doing this on a Windows machine when I have the time for it, but for now we're going to do Ubuntu server. So you want to make sure that you are running as root, which you're going to type in sudo-i, type in your password, and you can copy and paste all this stuff and just make sure that your machine is up to date. So we'll just go ahead and do that just for video's sake. I'll move this to the side, but everything has been up to date. It says upgrade. Is there stuff that we need to update? 3 things that needs to be updated. Okay, it's not that bad. Next thing, we'll go ahead and update this as well. Or upgrade, excuse me, and nothing. Okay, so now that's all done. What you want is net tools, and what this allows you to do is type in ifconfig, because we need to find out what your IP address of the machine is. So make sure that you type in sudo apt-get install or app install net tools. I already have done that. I have not done this yet because this is the git clone where we're going to be copying the script. So go ahead and install that. Then we're going to be installing the full version of NGINX. Then we're going to be installing more add-ons to NGINX. And we do need the node.js, which is going to be the npm. What command did I just run? Okay, sometimes I forget. Okay, it's already installed. We need to install the npm. This is really important as well. Every of these commands actually are pretty important. Yes. So while this goes through and installs, we're going to the GitHub page. And right now we're in the config, the NGINX .config. And when I copied and paste this into the source file or the /etc/nginx, then there's a nginx.config. We have to make slight modifications. We're still going to be adding this script. We're going to add some directives, however you say it, and we're also going to be adding on towards the existing config. So, okay, so now that's out of the way. Let's go ahead and minimize this. We want to modify the nginx.config. So what I want to do is I want to make a copy of that file just in case if I mess up. It's always essential that you make a copy. So we're going to go to cd/etc/NGINX. Then right there is the config. Let's go ahead and copy that. And we're going to type in CP for cheese pizza, paste in the file name, and we're going to go towards our desktop here. So mine is home/code2/ desktop. And right there is the file. So that's the backup of this. I'm not going to touch this. I'm going to move it back if I happen to do mess up on this file. So next thing, what we want to do is go towards our desktop. And now we got to install or download the source here. So on this page, it'll take you to the GitHub page. So view on GitHub, which will be right here. And I'm going to go towards the clone/download. I'm going to copy in this link. And this is where we have to type in, hold on. We're not going to modify that yet. I just want to add towards this. So it's going to be git clone, then the link right there. So git clone and add the link. And now it's on our desktop. So what we want to do is, it's locked. It needs permissions. We need to chmod it. Where's the plus? Oh, I already typed it in. And we want to type in NGINX -OBS and give it an asterisk because I don't want to type in all that stuff. And now we're going to go into the folder and we're going to give it all permissions. cd NGINX -OBS asterisk. Now we're in the folder, because if you did the asterisks, it will, you don't have to type in all this out. It'll just take you to it. So that's why. chmod +077 asterisk. Give everything permission, every file. And now we're going to go back towards no, we're going to actually stay in here. Just need to make sure that we type in chmod so you guys can copy and paste for yourself. NGINX -OBS asterisk. If it doesn't work for you, make sure that you just copy in the whole folder. Then you're going to go into the CD, the directory of NGINX, and you're going to chmod everything. Cool. Now, what is our directory? We want to go towards the NGINX folder right here, and it holds the config. So cd NGINX, oops. And now it shows the config, which we're going to open up, and we're going to basically copy and paste. So we're going to go to the folder here, and we're just going to copy and paste from here. However, in this this file right here, the stat.xsl, it tells you to put into the NGINX folder. Just a word of advice: if the developer is watching this, why not just put it into the previous folder instead of putting in the config? So we're gonna move that into the previous folder. Move stat.xsl towards to. I'm gonna copy and paste this actually. Boom. Now this is the only file, but what we want to do is type in gedit, and we're gonna go towards our etc folder, then the NGINX folder, and the NGINX config, because that's the where it's going to be pulling the entire configuration from. So we are going to get rid of all of this, and we're going to paste in our own config that's right here. So also we need to change this to a 1. We're going to start from HTTP. Okay, no, that's right there. Yeah, so we're going to start from the events, scroll all the way down, copy that, and that's basically it. Next thing is, this is optional for you guys, but this seems to help me out a whole lot when I was making modifications to the scripts for the config. So the directives, we're gonna go towards our RTMP. I want to bring up where was it? Right here. So we're going to be adding or changing the value of the chunk size. The higher the value of the number here, it will lower the CPU. Well, for me, I don't mind of having the machine here of using a little bit more of the CPU, so I lowered the value. 𝗶𝗶 is basically your buffer and into the sense of keyframes. So add a 5-second to this value, and synchronization. So if we were to scroll down, and if you were to type in, hit Control F, and on the bottom left, you'll see on the browser, chunk size. Then it tells you the same thing of what I just told you. You can go over here and make modifications to the config, to your fitting. So as I just said for the 𝗶𝗶, set the default buffer length. Usually client sends RTMP set 𝗶𝗶 command before playing the reset. The settings is to default at 1,000 milliseconds. So, and as for the sync, everything needs to be synchronized. So the video and audio will be synchronized. So the video will start first. If there's no sound, then the video won't start whatsoever. And where was it? Sync. There it is. So synchronized audio and video streams. If subscriber bandwidth is not enough to receive data at the publisher rate, some frames are dropped by server. This leads to synchronization problems when the timestamp difference exceeds the value specified as sync argument. An absolute frame is sent. Fixing that. Default is 300 milliseconds, which I have that. So what we're going to do is, on the config side, we want to, let's move that over there. We want to change the chunk size. This is optional for you. You can just leave everything at default, but this happened to help me out personally, so you can change it as you please. Make sure there's a semicolon for there, so we're going to change that. Then we're going to add a couple things at the bottom here. Tab right over. Sync. Then 300 milliseconds. Semicolon tab. Then 𝗶𝗶 or 𝗶𝗶. My bad. So now those two have been added, and we also changed the value of the chunk size. We can go ahead and hit save, and you can hit close, and you don't have to mind this. It's just letting us know that it's been saved. We can go ahead and go back to the values here and see that it has been changed, or the file, not the values. See, this has been changed. We scroll all the way down and it's been changed. So you don't have to mind all this warning stuff. Let's go ahead and clear that out. Next thing, what we got to do is let's go ahead and reboot our server. Let me go ahead and save this to desktop. Commands. We're going to hit the reboot. I will go ahead and make sure and post. We will fast forward the video. Okay, now once we're back on our computer, what we want to do is go towards the NGINX OBS folder here. So let's go ahead and do that. cd/home/code to desktop. Then the NGINX folder. And we're going to go ahead and edit our config. So there's a config.json, which we do have to modify. So pico config, or it could be gedit. Let's go with gedit. Gedit config /.json, not slash. This is where you want to type in the IP address of where your OBS is running, which is mine. It's on a separate computer, so it's not going to be on the local host. I'm not going to be using a password here, so we're going to go ahead and change that and make sure there's nothing in there. So the normal scene is where the viewer is going to be watching your scene. Your offline, which is not really offline, it just means in your be right back. It's has a low bit rate, and if it's detecting a low bit rate, you can have another scene and a refresh scene to refresh the scene. It will go onto this scene for like 5 seconds, then it'll go back to the normal scene here. So let's go ahead and add these to OBS after we're done with the adding the values for the chat. So right here, it's saying channel. This is where you're going to put in your Twitch channel. So mine is 𝗶𝗶𝗀𝗀, and then your bot username, which is bot 𝗶𝗶𝗀𝗀. Then your OAuth key, which we're going to get here in a second. This is for the admin users. So 𝗶𝗶𝗀𝗀. If you just want to be the only user, just get rid of the comma, and just have it look like this. But if you want to have multiple users, you can. Just make sure that you add a comma afterwards. Then no comma after that. If you want to add another person, add a comma, then username right here, then no comma after that. Just make sure you don't have a comma at the end, at the last user. Okay, so now that I have that here, what I want to do is we have to get the OAuth. So what we got to do is go to our Firefox browser, log in with our bot account. You don't have to use a bot account. You can just use your main account. Either or is fine. So we're going to go to Twitch apps.com/TMI. Connect with Twitch. It'll give us our OAuth. Copy that. Let's go ahead and close out of here. Then let's go ahead and paste that right in between the quotes. Hit save. Make note for this here. I'm just going to go ahead and copy this because we're going to be setting up our OBS a bit later. So now that we have that configured, we need to type in start npm. So let's go ahead and do a test run. So just as long as you're within this folder, this is where you can start the project. So make sure that you are in the NGINX OBS automatic low bitrate switching. Then once you're in that directory, then you're going to type in start npm. However, since every time that you reboot your computer, you need to stop NGINX because it's automatically running. Okay, so now it's stopped. Now we can go ahead and type in start npm within this folder. It's highly important that you got to be in this folder. So it starts that project. Excuse me, npm start. I had it backwards. Okay, so I totally forgot one command. We need to install the production, so I do apologize for that. Make sure that you're still within the same folder, hit paste, and it will start installing the packages that it needs. Also, I made a slight modification to the config file. Before we get further into that, it just gives us a little bit of a warning. This is completely fine. Go ahead and just skip out over that. The modifications that I made were we changed the value, and I added onto this as well just for a multi-accept on, but you can just leave that commented out. I moved the bluffing up to this section, and I want to make sure that the sync is right below the weight. So after you make those modifications and move that those towards those respective lines, go ahead and make sure you save your config. So now what we can do is type in npm start, and it will start our script here. So now it automatically joined the channel, and if it's trying to connect to OBS, which we'll do here in a second. I want to go towards my Twitch channel here, my personal Twitch channel. Okay, so if I were to type in, let's move this towards the side, or let's just take out the box. There's a way that you could do that. That you can just like pop out chat. Is that not there anymore? Pop out chat. There we go. So now we can run these commands. So if we were to type in !start, it said you'll pop up this command and it'll say it's now starting the stream. If we want to stop the stream, it'll be !stop. So we do need to have OBS running, and we also need to make sure we have a OBS WebSocket. So let's do our OBS here, and I'll provide a link down below. You want to go towards your releases, then scroll down, and if you are on Windows, then get the Windows installer.exe, run it as admin. And I'll install it towards the C drive. I just leave everything at default, hit the agreement. OBS is not open. So we're gonna hit ignore, hit start. And now we can go ahead and open up OBS. Just run it as admin. And now it's gonna be up and running. So as I mentioned earlier, for the scenes, we need to create a couple of scenes here. So it's going to be the screen scene, BRB, low bitrate detected, and refresh. So make sure that you create those scenes. So screen, already checked. BRB, checked. I need low bitrate detected, and also the refresh. So low bitrate detected. Detected. Then also with the capitalized refresh, all caps. So here's the main screen. Here's the BRB screen, low bit rate, which you can have just a text and have it be like low bit rate, and still have your IRL stream right here. It'll just say, you know, low bit rate. Then once it's really low, it'll just go to your BRB. Then it'll say, if you need to refresh it with !refresh, it'll send here for 5 seconds. Then it'll move over back to the main screen to refresh your stream. So now that we have that all added, what we need to do next is let's go ahead and stop this by hitting Control Z. Let's go back towards the JSON script, which we need to modify with gedit. We need to get the IP address of the machine where the OBS is hosted on, which I know for a fact it's this IP address here. Yours is different, so all you gotta do is go towards your command prompt on your computer and just type in ipconfig, and that will pop up. Hit save. Go ahead and exit. Now type in npm start to start up the script here. And now it's not giving us the errors anymore because it's actually connected towards the OBS Studios. So now I can actually type in !screen. It'll change that. It'll say it's already on the screen. So if we move this over here, executed, command not found. Oh, sorry. It needs to be !switch. If I can spell it correctly, to screen. Since we're already on it, I want to go to BRB and change it to the BRB scene. We can also change it to switch to refresh. And now if we were to type !start, it will start the stream, !stop to stop the stream. There's more commands down here where it gives you like, hey, you want to host someone, it'll end your stream. If you did, you can unhost. You can also do a record. So record on demand, so on and so forth. So there's all these commands right here. So now that's configured, everything's all good. And we also have our bot here telling us otherwise. This shows up right here. It's because I already have another server running. Let's go ahead and just close out of that. Save. I just now noticed my other stuff that came here. Make sure that you modify, or not mod, you mod your bot. So just type in /mod and your bot. Now it's there. Make sure you give them the editor role as well. Yeah, so now we got that enabled. We want to also port forward our RTMP server. And if you also want to port forward your OBS WebSocket, you can. We're going to go towards our Firefox here. You're going to go towards your router. Then I'm going to go ahead and log in. Censor out some stuff once we get in. Oops. Definitely got to censor out all that stuff. Okay. So, this is right here where you need to port forward the RTMP and also the WebSocket. So we're going to go ahead and just delete these both just for argument's sake. So for the RTMP server, you need to go to add custom service if you're on a Netgear. If you don't happen to have Netgear, Google your manufacturers, like if it's a route or if it's a Linksys, Google Linksys, then the model number, then how to port forward, then, or you can also just YouTube how to do it. We're gonna port forward our RTMP server. We want TCP and UDP. The port was 1935. And the server was the 10.0.0.10. I believe it was 1935. Yeah, it was 1935. Hit apply. And if you want to have your WebSocket for your OBS, you can. And it's going to be, just type in WebSocket OBS. Then the port was 4444. And then it'll be wherever your OBS was hosted. And now everything's ported on over. So let's go ahead and close out of that. And now that we can remote stream in towards our NGINX server, and then we'll pull that feed, at which we will set up the feed from the OBS. So if we go back towards our server here, it will tell you that it's going to be RTMP : your IP address right here, which I have a domain set up for mine. But that's going to be your IP here. And it's going to be /publish. Then it's going to be /live. And right here is the actual stream key. Even though it says live, don't mistake that. That's a stream key. So now what we're going to do is, since we already set up our OBS and I totally skipped out on number 2, I also want to set up our Twitch channel. Then we'll just set up our LiveU just for an optional. So we're just going to do that in that order. So this is going to be 4, 2, 3. Okay. So let's go ahead and set up our Twitch channel. What we're going to do is go towards our channel, our creator dashboard. I'm going to move this over towards the side until we get towards our roles. So over to the left, it will show you the roles. And then once you scroll down and you see the bot that you modded, you also want to give it the creator or the editor role. Bot contextual. So you're gonna hit the plus, give it editor. That's it. You don't have to hit the save button, it'll automatically save. So now it has editor and moderator. So once you got that all set up, you're good. Now we can go towards the fourth step and setting up our LiveU Solo and also pull that feed on our OBS. And we'll do a little bit of a live stream test for that. So, okay, so now that we're in our LiveU Solo portal, what we're going to do is add a destination by clicking the plus button down below. We're going to scroll down where it says RTMP generic. Go ahead and click on that, and then we're going to give it a name, and we're going to give it a profile, which is the highest is the 1280 by 720. We're going to give it a URL, which is going to be the RTMP URL. Again, your IP address is going to be right here. This is going to be censored out because I don't want my domain name to be out there. This is a private domain name. So make sure that you put your IP address right there, then /publish, then /. So that's really important that you put that /. Then the stream name is actually asking for the stream key. So then you're going to put in live. So that's actually the stream key. So how I said like RTMP IP address here /publish/live, you're going to put in the live right here. So if you have any other advanced stuff that you want to make modifications to, cool. Go ahead and hit submit. And it'll bring us back towards the main page. We're gonna go towards our OBS, and we're gonna go towards our scene here or screen and add a media source. And this can be called IRL camera, uncheck local file. Then it's gonna be RTMP : // then it's gonna be your actual local IP from your machine. So 10.0.0.10/publish, then /live. And what you want to do is you can add another one as well for the low bitrate detected, and IRL cam 2 low bitrate, and it will still refresh the stream and give it the same value, then /live. Then you're gonna add a third one for your refresh. So it'll still refresh it. It'll still show the stream, but it'll pull it from another media source. So it's gonna be IRL cam 3 refresh. And same thing. Paste that in. And so now we're going to go ahead and start our LiveU, go live. That's going to take a second. And we're going to go towards our Twitch channel here. And so even though that we're streaming to OBS, we still need to stream from the OBS towards to Twitch or to any other CDN that you prefer. So now that it's actually pulling up it's showing that it's sending in that signal, and sometimes you have to go to a different scene to trigger that. There it is. Microphone's in the way. I'll put the microphone right up here. So microphone was in the way. Now we can resize it. It'll pull up the stream here, then just resize that as well, and so on and so forth, and make sure it's like low bitrate detected. So what we can do now is we're not live just yet. We need to go towards our Twitch channel, and this is where the fun begins. This is where you can type in !start, and as you can see on the OBS right here, let's see it start streaming. Well, now you can just send in a command. It'll start streaming because that's connecting right now. And it says bot codexal successfully started streaming. Give it a second. It'll pop up here. We can switch to a different scene towards our screen, and it'll switch it to a different scene. So it's pretty awesome that you're able to do this. You can also stop the stream by hitting !stop, which we're going to go ahead and do. But we want to type in bitrate. Let me talk about that real quick. The bitrate will show up for the current bitrate. Not that's from the OBS, because OBS shows, oh, it's like almost at 6,000 bitrate. It's actually pulling the bitrate from the LiveU. So I just want to clarify on that. So let's go ahead and stop the stream. And now the stream successfully stopped. So you can get all these other commands on the website as well. And yeah, that's basically it. I'm not streaming from my OBS anymore. I stopped it. That's basically it. If you guys enjoyed this video, even though it's like mundane and a little bit long, if you made it through this far, claps for you. This video is going to be long, I'm sure of it. I want to go ahead and ask if you guys want to learn further more, or if you guys ever need any help, join on the Discord, follow on my social media, but please, for the love of God, don't ask me things on my social media. Join the Discord and ask your questions there. Just follow my social media, just because I want to provide content of different sources, of different types of sources. But yeah, any technical questions will be at the Discord. I will answer them on the Discord only. Make sure that you guys subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, post notifications turned on. I do a live stream on Mixer. I actually multi-stream, but watch me on Mixer on that platform. So I will go ahead and end it here. I'll see you guys in the next video. Y'all take care. Peace. Protect your privacy and identity. Unlock censor filters if you're trying to get to a no-no site, or you just want to be anonymous. Whatever your reasonings are, you can connect to the VPN tunnels within seconds by using private internet access. Links are in the description. It's so low, like the cost is so low. If you're not able to afford for this, then you know you're just broke just as I am, because I'm trying to get affiliates ads going on. Yeah, this is a sponsored video, by the way. VPN features, and look at all these great features: secured VPN account, encrypted Wi-Fi, peer-to-peer support, and so on and so forth. And you can connect to 33 different countries, and there's a lot of servers to go around. Plus, there's a fast download. I use this for myself as well when I try to get to those no-no sites. Yeah. Okay, let's go back to the continued content, and thank you for the support. Links in the description.
Thank you for sticking around. Please feel free to watch my other videos. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, follow my social media. If you're feeling generous, check out my Patreon or send in a donation of any amount with PayPal. It really helps out with post-production, equipment, food in my belly, and also continue making free content for you guys. Links in the description. Y'all take care, and thank you once again.